If you have given the chance to start your life over at age 11 right now, but still keep all of your current knowledge and memories, would you? Why or why not? I'd be one cynical 11-year-old. Drags cigarette. Wait until 2009 to buy that house. Dad. Love it. I picture you dressed as an 11 years old Don Draper. Wait until 2009 buy computer mones. Dad. 2008 it was $0,075 per. I was worried about ending up on a list, so I decided against buying $100 worth. My worries were well founded as I would have ended up on a list for sure. The rich list. I'll see myself out. I bought sometime around then. I turned around and traded about, at the time, $20 worth for a Team Fortress hat. Today that's worth somewhere between $1 and $1.3 million. I don't remember the exact month I traded them. Yes, but really so I can spend more time with some people who have died. My dad died when I was 18. Definitely would go back to spend more time with him. Same thing with me friend, only about a year past it. It's a hard thing to explain and understand for people my age. I'm sorry for your loss. Yeah, of course. I would get a chance to actually make friends, hide that body properly, and not get bullied. Plus huge stock market gains. Hol up. You were bullied? It's a crazy world. Do I get the option again once I reach my current age? I'd hate to go back, make things worse, and then be stuck like that. But I'd love to sign up for a multi-decade Groundhog Day scenario. Until you go insane and end up killing yourself after getting bored. But he could change so many things each time and experience it all. Maybe becoming rich or doing drugs. The choices is infinite. And maybe you can decide to stop when you go back, so he could try everything and see what best suits him and what route to take for the best life. On one hand, it would be great timing because my mom married my awesome stepdad when I was 10, so I wouldn't have to worry about making sure that happened again. I'd be able to explore more hobbies while I was young and really change my life for the better, along with help my parents invest better and survive 2008 better as well. But also, I will probably alter the course of my life so much that many people who I have met, I probably never will. Maybe I'll meet other interesting people instead. But still, there are some friendships I wouldn't want to give up. This often fantasize about starting over, but I'd probably advance myself in education at such a rate that I'd have to hold myself back and go out of my way to attend the same university where I met some of my good friends. To meet my wife I'd have to fake religious faith to an extreme degree for over a decade. That would be hard. I could win so many middle school arguments I've replayed in my head for years. Yep. Foreknowledge of future events is great money making potential. Apple stock and bitcoins would make me incredibly rich, and I'd know where to find my wife a few years earlier than I currently did. Win-win. Think she would still date rich you? Probably not. Damn it. Back to the drawing board. No, I like my life and my family. If I'm taken back to when I was 11 I might fuck up something in between then and meeting my wife, and then we might never get together. The constant knowledge that I could mess something up at any moment that would forever alter the life I once had would probably drive me insane, thus altering the life I once had and drive me into a feedback loop of insanity and sadness that would end in my suicide. No, I wouldn't be able to live with my parents for another 7 years. I hated growing up in my house, but I would gladly do it all over again with this knowledge I have. I never would have joined my parents' stupid cult, which really set a difficult trajectory for 20 years of my life. Yes, to do even better in school and take more advanced courses. As your typical former gifted kid, I would have more appreciation for my ability to do well in school and take the advanced courses. If I had a do-over, I'd also focus on getting more real-world experience, so I wouldn't have such a privileged view of education. Hell yeah. A healthy 11-year-old me, all that potential and knowledge about myself and my strengths. I could run that school, avoid the bad people, avoid bad injuries, make good choices, avoid the bad exes, and invest in Bitcoin and bet on Leicester City. I think Leicester, Trump, and Brexit winning in 2016 were much better odds than 5,000 to 1. Absolutely I would. I actually play this scenario out in my head all the time. It thrills me to think about going back to 10 years old with all the knowledge I have today, because I could make something of myself and not make the same mistakes I've made later in life. I'm 22. I wouldn't be a disappointment. It would also be fun to write music lyrics of current songs or discuss college level information and blow people's minds. I also want to wear a bathing suit and not care about how I look because I developed an eating disorder at 11. God, I wish I could go back. You're 22. You have your whole life in front of you. I've changed careers 3 times and didn't get into software development, my current career, until I was 42. I'm 49 now. You can reinvent yourself as many times as you want, and you're barely out of childhood. Life isn't something where you either did everything right or it's ruined. People who have that attitude tend never to succeed because failure is an essential step in learning to succeed. Lol, are you kidding? I would do unspeakable things for the chance at a do-over. I have a shitton of regrets. Honestly, I wouldn't even try to exploit my knowledge of future events for money. I'd just try to avoid fucking up the things I have fucked up. Yes, I'd have another 12 years with my dad again. If I have to go through everything else all over again to have him back, I would. Me too. My mom has been gone for 20 years. I would happily go back and spend all my time with her. I can promise you I would not repeat the mistakes I made as a stupid teenager. I would be so happy to have so many of my family members to spend time with again. I would do school, write and get my degree. This is one of my fondest daydreams. I think about redoing my life too much. I should just change what I need to now and make my life happier. I just feel like I don't even know where to start, honestly. I look at things and just feel overwhelmed now. I know I'm the only one who can change things. Can't understand why I don't make the changes I need to. I just feel scared of change, even though I desperately need to. No, I don't have the patience to grind those levels again. 22 levels of tutorial is a bit much, but imagine if you could go back to level 11 having already completed it once. You could pretty much bypass the rest of the levels and finish the tutorial at level 11, which is pretty much impossible unless you invested all of your starter points into intelligence. Despite whatever knowledge you have about the mid-game, the game still locks you out of some storylines until you reach level 18 and level 21. 11-year-old me would not be able to handle what I currently know. I'd rather spare my preteen self heartache, rejection, despair, depression, and all else that we as adults deal with. If I went back, I'd rather be clueless and innocent. Look at this guy with his happy childhood. In a heartbeat, without a single regret. I'll memorize the numbers in a couple of lotteries, because nobody will believe me for the first one. Need a backup, and convince my parents to send my sister to military school, to stop her from becoming an addict/dealer, and going to prison. Wasted wishes right here. My dude, military school might help, but it isn't like every discipline problem gets fixed by it. Admirable, don't get me wrong, but the only thing you'd have going is to memorize lottery numbers and hope for the best. Damn, son. You might just end up worse off the second time around. Absolutely, I would fix some of my mistakes, play sports, play in band. Also, there was a girl that I met in late middle school, and as absolutely dumb as it sounds, I still have a thing for her, but I never told her, and she vanished before I could do anything about it anyway. But still, I'd have loved to have had a chance with her. Also, in general, I would try to be a better person. I would try to not be the little shit I was. Oh, and I wouldn't get fat. I found my boy cat on the street about 9 years ago. He was a tiny dirty ball of fur and disease. It was cold outside. If I hadn't been delivering pizzas to that specific house on that day, he would have probably died. As much as I'd like to change the course of my life, I could never risk losing Murray to the butterfly effect. I have thought about this often. Part of me would love the opportunity, but I would miss my 2 children too much. Same. It would be almost impossible to recreate the situation of meeting my husband. And even if it went perfectly, just as it did before, it's a 1 in a billion chance the same sperm hits the egg. My children would be gone. You know what? No. While there's plenty in my life that I would love to have had not happen or avoid dating individuals who hurt me or were a detriment to my advancement in life, I'd be bored as hell doing all of what I did over. I have an amazing wife now. I get to play video games whenever I want. I work at secretary from home 100% of the time and can enjoy my hobbies. Honestly, life is so good now. Even when something does go wrong, it's not a big deal as I'm happy with what I have in life now. And if I had to relive it all, who knows if I would be where I'm right now with different opportunities, etc. Uploads are every day at 3:30 Central. Never gonna give you up, never gonna let you down, never gonna run around and desert you, never gonna make you cry, never gonna say goodbye, never gonna tell a lie and hurt you.